I know I said I wasn't going to say anything else. I wasn't going to say anything more. But this was sitting heavily on my soul. What you're looking at right here, right? These are the aerial pictures of Prince Andrew's estate. The lodge, he paid a certain amount of money to procure the lease. See Andrew. This is as far back as 2021, a year or so after Harry and Meghan left. Prince Andrew has been in the media as having nefarious dealings with underage women for years. This thing has been plaguing him since. I did some research into it since the 90s. And then it became public knowledge that all the rumors were not just rumors when the late Virginia Joffrey, the picture of the late Virginia Joffrey and Ghislaine Maxwell and Andrew on Virginia's waist became public. And then a lot of questions came out about what the hell. So it's not just rumors. Andy really is a pedo. Now, a lot of useless women and men have come forward to say, well, you can't call Andy a pedo when she was a sex worker. Not that she was a trafficked teenager who was probably traumatized by her situation. Oh, no. She was a sex worker. She knew what she was doing. Virginia Joffrey killed herself, according to what we were told just about a week ago, after doggedly pursuing this. And I want to remind everybody that she posted something saying she was not suicidal. Yes, I agree, she posted it years ago, but I still stand by that. She had a family, she had kids, and she looked like she was a loving mom. And while I am not here to speak about the incomprehensible trauma child sex abuse victims go through, I will take her at her word. And I call again for the journalists who spend time harassing and stalking Harry and Meghan in Montecito to do their job and find out exactly what happened to Virginia. But the reason I bring this up is so you can see this opulence, security, and wealth Andrew still continues to enjoy as a disgraced member of the royal family. Meanwhile, Prince Harry, the biological son of the current king, who is in line to the throne, if anything happens, whose kids are in line to the throne, has been denied security that will make it possible for him to bring his children to the country of his birth. I know many of you don't like Harry for whatever reason. You've refused to, why did he tell the public about his situation? Because they've been talking about him in the press since he was a teenager. He didn't even let the trauma, the press did not even regulate themselves, thinking about the fact that a 12-year-old kid not only lost his mom, but was forced to walk behind her casket until her burial. They put him on public display because they wanted to save the royal family, a child. I remember my earliest pictures of Harry was seeing him as a teenager trying to hide away from the media as he was strolling out of Eton. Back then as a child, I didn't appreciate what this meant, but as an adult, Jesus Christ. Imagine having to deal with this since you were a teenager. Your mother has died. There's nobody to hold your hand, guide you, help you. Every mistake, every misstep, exaggerated, published in the media to show Harry off as a troubled teen, a narrative that was created to help his father win favor because his daddy was banging Camilla. That is what they used Harry to do, revamp his father's image. And Harry has come out today in the interview to say, you know what, I'm willing to forgive this. I'm willing to forgive the fact that you splashed my pictures, spread misinformation and lies about me since I was 12, 13. You didn't let me grow up in peace. You didn't let me grieve my mother in peace. Everything I did was picked apart, torn apart. You bugged my phone. You were listening to my conversations. You made me paranoid. You made it difficult for me to maintain normal relationships with people. I couldn't even have girlfriends because I was worried that, they were going to be hacked or harassed. Every girlfriend I had, you more or less chased away because you wouldn't leave them alone. I moved to Africa. I moved in and out of Africa to have peace. You followed me there. You didn't let me have a moment to breathe. Then I joined the military. The one thing that I did on my own, I was proud of it, proud of the things I was able to do. You revealed my location, making me a liability to my colleagues. So of course I had to stop military service. Okay, fine, you've taken me away from this thing I genuinely enjoyed and gave me a sense of purpose. Allow me to live. I have the Invictus Games. They didn't stop. I was still reading. The funny thing is, I said it before, that I wasn't paying attention to the royal family because I really don't give a shit. And I'm sorry, I've always said it, guys. I never found either William or Harry attractive. I mean, William was pretty, I guess, but then we all know what happened. Harry, I thought, oh my God. Ugh. And then I think my hatred of Harry got worse when I saw him with that swastika thing that he wore when he was a teenager. And I was like, you know what, F that guy. Never paid attention to him. Never knew anything about this family because I tend to ignore them. Then, of course, the whole Kate and William thing. And by that time, I had moved to the UK. And the thing about it is, when you're living in the UK, it's hard to ignore the royal family, even if you don't want to. People ran to our social rooms to go and watch Kate get married to William. I didn't give an F. I ignored that news. I was concentrating on other things. And even then, as soon as William and Kate got married, the media very quickly ran to go and find what beautiful British rose, proper British rose, they were going to find for Harry. Do you guys remember in the newspapers, they were putting all these polls? Oh, look at all the eligible female. I don't even know how they made that determination. But anyway, they found some British ladies, European ladies, put them on the newspaper and say these are the eligible females that Harry could marry. That's speculation on this poor man. They even let him breathe. If you recall from his book, he said he didn't like to go out. And frankly, I don't blame him. Every time he went out, you embarrassed him, made him look stupid, talked about his clothes, which were busted. I mean, we all remember Harry's face. Harry's feet were busted, weren't they? Terrible. I didn't even know he was shopping from TK Maxx. Again, I wasn't paying attention to Harry until I read his book. I was like, you buy from the TK Maxx thing, because TK Maxx has some nice stuff. So I'm not going to drag TK Maxx. But he didn't have the budget his brother had. He couldn't live the life his brother had in terms of, because his brother was the king, he was the spare. So they treated him like a poor relative. Everything he had to be less than William, So because imagine being told this over and over and over and over and over again. So he had to find value in himself because something deep inside him was pushing him for greatness, because Harry is a great man. Imagine they tried to suppress this man. But even in that suppression, he was still able to think about the Invictus Games. Even in that suppression, he was able to think about the mental health thing that they made him and his sister, his brother and sister-in-law to do together, because William and Kate do not work. So since I'm very sure that was Harry's idea, make it a gruesome threesome type of thing. A grown man, you wanted him to be playing third wheel to a husband and a wife. Because that was the plan. Whoever Harry was going, they knew Harry was popular. But the plan wasn't for Harry to overtake William in terms of popularity. That was not their expectation. Then Harry falls in love with Meghan. And Meghan is fascinating because she's different. She's older, she's a divorcee, she's a woman, she's grown. And if you read that book, Harry's book, Harry likes women grown. He didn't want to marry some sensitive flower. He wanted an independent woman. Maybe because in many ways Harry's dream woman was somebody who reminded him of his mom, because his mom was that way. If his mom could have very much allowed herself to become a wilted flower under the pressure of William and Camilla. But no, she chose to stand her ground, be kind, do good, take this privilege that she doesn't deserve, but she has, to try and bring some joy in the world. The problem, unfortunately, was that Meghan wasn't supposed to be the woman that went for Harry. Because when Meghan came to Harry, she took him from UK liked to the stratosphere. That couple together was dynamite. We all know that they are dynamite. Every time, literally right now, William and Kate, they only ever discuss them when they're trying to foil Harry and Meghan, because that star power, you don't ask for it. And what was Harry and Meghan's crime? They loved each other. That was it. But did the press protect them? No. Sorry, did the royal family protect them? No. That wasn't what Harry was there for. Harry was supposed to be the whipping boy, as was his wife. But The popularity was stressing the royal family. Harry and Meghan were not supposed to be this popular. That was William and Kate's job. So they started to flog Meghan in the media. Flog her. Flog her. Flog her. Day in, day out. I wasn't paying attention to Meghan then. But even I remember seeing some articles now. And I'd be like, okay. But I move on. It all came to head for me when I mentioned that, when they mentioned Meghan was having mental health issues. And I started paying a bit more attention. Then when they left, I was like, oh yes, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And I'm not going to go through the whole history. They left. They thrive. They continue to thrive. Had another baby. And yet, I don't know what Harry's crime is that justifies taking away his security when he comes to the country of his birth. He left. You harassed him and his wife to the point where they were forced to leave. That was what you were hoping would happen, right? That the marriage would break up. Of course, you didn't plan for Harry to leave because you didn't want Meghan there. You wanted Harry. I don't know why you stupidly thought that Harry would always be the third wheel to William. I don't know why you thought that. Apparently, Harry's biggest crime is loving his wife and loving his children and wanting peace for them. And even then, this man still continues to give his family the grace they do not deserve. That BBC interview, to me, was him being kind because he wants to reconcile. So it goes against the narrative of the British press that Harry is trying to break up the royal family. No, he grew up in that institution. Harry is still very much a member of the royal family. God knows he's the only reason people are paying attention to that trash family right now. Well, the only thing I can say for Charlie is this: King Charles, I don't like you. Never liked you. You represent everything I despise about colonization. You are still very much a member of the royal family. I don't wish you any. I don't have any hatred. I didn't have any hatred for you. I hated what you did to Diana with Camilla. But I also had a little bit of empathy for you because I understood that you really had no choice, even though if you had used your spine to stand on your ground, you wouldn't have ruined people's lives because of your choices. But we are here, but we are where we are. I despise you for not taking care of your children. Yes, that includes William. William is suffering his own trauma as well. Look at how miserable William looks. Does he look happy to you? The fuck? I can forgive you for that, maybe. But what you've done to Harry and Meghan? Do you know that Charles hasn't seen his grandchildren? The media every day is trying to tell us that, Charles is waiting to see his kids. Oh, he wishes to see his grandfather. Harry has confirmed in that interview that he's never asked to see his kids, his grandchildren. Let's absorb that. Every time we see Charles, we see him holding and cuddling William's children, but he has never asked to see Harry's kids. These are his grandchildren. There are so many ways we can unpack this. We could say it's racism. We could say it's cruelty. A grandfather refusing to see his grandchildren. Can anybody fathom that? I can't. I can understand that you and your son have some qualms and you're not happy about it. These are your grandchildren. What did they do? Anyway, a couple of quick highlights from the interview. I've just mentioned it here. That Charles has, contrary to the nonsense the Rota has been saying, Charles has never asked to see his grandchildren. Shame on you, Charles. Charles, which Harry says royal household, I'm going to use it as code for Charles, sits on the Ravec Council and they have refused to give Harry multiple times security that he needs for him and his family. That's two. Meghan and the kids are never coming to the UK. Thank God. This is a gift from God, frankly. What else were we going to say? Harry understands that people are saying that, he's no longer a working member of the royal family. He doesn't deserve security. He says, well, I didn't ask to be born into the royal family. 1, 2, I have served my country, and he is right. He is not like William or Kate that have done F all but get millions, 50 million at least a year, enjoying our taxpayer money, the tax-funded Ravec, by the way. Also, the media has lied about how much it costs to protect someone like Harry. They've said it's in the 20 millions. He said that's a lie. It's about 19 million less. So let's say about 1 million. So, and since Harry doesn't really come here, I think it's even less than that. Just to protect Harry and his kids for the 4-5 days they might be in the UK. They can't give them security. Really? But you can give, but you royalists don't have any qualms with Charles and William, Kate and Camilla using helicopters to fly around the country they can take a train on. Oh, they just announced recently they bought a new helicopter. Gee, well done. They don't pay taxes. Oh, sorry, they pay the taxes they want to. William did not declare his taxes. I don't know how anybody can watch that interview, hear the pain and see the exhaustion on Harry and not feel something. You have to be just effing heartless. And to Charles, and the Rota, let me tell you something. You might have some trolls on the internet that are gassing you up, but the world is watching. This interview Harry has done was broadcast globally. I assure you, people in the UK are looking at this thing and wondering what the hell is going on in America, in Europe, in Africa. We're not going to forget this. So every time William goes outside hunting for blacks to go and take pictures with, we will always remember that they punish and continue to punish Harry for falling in love and marrying a biracial black woman. We've not forgotten. Every time Charles pretends to like black people, we will always remember that Charles has not seen or interacted with Harry's children since they were born. Or at least since they left. This is a king. I want you people in the Commonwealth and Africa and the Caribbean to remember this when you're kicking and kakaing for the royal family. They hate you. And if that Caribbean tour is not enough to remind you, let their treatment of the first woman of color, biracial black woman, Meghan, be a good reminder. Let me know your thoughts in the chat, guys. I just wanted to vomit everything out. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'll catch you later. Bye.